Hello, party people. Hello, it's Randy for Thunderhorse Descendant. I am here today with Bargain Bead Box project number 2. Project number 2. Here we are. This is the project we're going to be working on. This is from Bargain Bead Box Cloudburst. That is for the month of May 2023. So if you're following along, that's what we're working on today. Gotta have a little sip of coffee. So yeah, if you are new here, welcome in. This is part of our mini series. We do this every month with the Bargain Bead Box here on Thunderhorse Descendant Bead channel. I just do it for funsies because I like to plan my projects, and everybody said they kind of like following along with the mini series, so I'm glad you guys are here. Please subscribe to my channel so you can find me on the internet again. Like, make a comment. All those things are free and very helpful to the channel. Also, if you've never been part of Bargain Bead Box before, I invite you to visit their website, www.bargainbeadbox.com, where you can choose your bead box in monthly or 6 months or a year, I think are some of the options. So if you want to do that and you're new, you've never had a subscription before, you can use the code Thunderhorse86 at checkout to save $2. And yeah. So let's get on down into this video. This one has riveting, so I'm excited. Let's get down to the mat. All right, my party people, here we are on the mat. This is our plan for project number 2 from Bargain Bead Box Cloudburst. And this one is a pretty easy design. I was kind of focusing on some easier designs for craft shows and prepping for that. So yeah, the only real hard part about this design is going to be the riveting if you've never riveted before. If you have riveted before, it'll be super easy. But honestly, riveting is not that hard. If you are interested, you know, there is kind of some tools you need to have, but if you've been interested in like piecing different pieces together and kind of creating your own stuff, riveting is a really cool way to go. So let's get right on into the project. These are all the things that I have. So I have the pendant, and then I have 2 of the larger links and 2 of the smaller links, and that's what I have from the box. So now, I said in my design that I was going to utilize deer skin instead of the chain, because I had said that the chain wasn't really my speed. So here we are with the deer skin leather lace. So this leather lace that I'm using, this one, we did sell them on Thunderhorse Descendant in the past. I don't think we have any listed on the website right now. However, these are from Taylor's Falls Bead Store. These are genuine deerskin leather lace. So I'm going to tell you, let's see, where is my, I guess I'll have to use this. The thickness on this bad boy. And we have 1/4 an inch. Is that 1/4 of an inch? Yeah. 1/4 of an inch wide. So that's how wide it is. And that's important for what we're going to be doing here with the riveting. So I'm going to tell you all the tools that we're going to need before we get started to do this. So minus our beads that we're going to use, we are going to need a piece of this leather lace. Now this is quite long, and that's just because this is how they sell them at Taylor's Falls. I want to say this is like 5 feet or something. So we are not going to be utilizing all of this length, but I am going to be using this whole piece for the project until I get it completed, just so I don't run out. I'm not sure how long I want it to be. So we need that. Okay, in addition to that, we are going to need a hole punch for our creating 2 holes in this leather. So I'm just going to go ahead and use my Euro punch. This is actually for metal, but I'm going to use this little guy. And I believe this makes a 1.5 millimeter hole. If you did not want to use this, you could use the smallest setting on a regular leather punch. But I'm going to be using 2 rivets today, and I had a couple of choices, and I'll show you the difference between them. I wanted to use those really small rivets that we generally sell on Thunderhorse Descendant, but I didn't have any left. So these are snap rivets. So the top looks like this. This happens to be like a rhinestone kind. So the top looks like this. Well, come here, you. This is what we would call the male part. The female part looks like this. This is a back of it, is just a little small round. And basically what happens with these are again snap rivets. So you put them together, you'll hear a click, okay? And then this is what it's like loose until you hammer it. Once you hammer it, once you have your leather inside of there and you hammer it, the back is going to squash out, and then it's going to make it tight. Easy peasy. So now these specific snap rivets, since I couldn't find the ones that I wanted to use, these specific ones here I did purchase at the Michaels. Was it Michaels? Or was it? No. Sorry, I take that back. I got these at Hobby Lobby. These are in the sewing section over by the thread and the little snippers and by the fabric, okay? So you can buy little boxes of these there if you need to grab up some of these. They are not expensive. You get a whole pack of them for like, I don't know, $5 or something. So this is a snap rivet. Now these are also snap rivets, and these were my second choice. These are, I'm not going to use these today, but these are my second choice. So I was looking, same setup. These are a 5 millimeter, and these are copper. Now, of course, the reason I was looking at the copper because I wanted to match the color, but it didn't quite work out the way that I wanted. So I was like, well, I'll just go with the sparkly ones. That'll be fine. These are from Taylor's Falls. If you do need some of these kind, I can get them. They're 5 millimeters. You get 20 of them for $3.99. If you want that, go ahead and utilize our form, or if you want any of these items, you can utilize our form on our website. It says make a bead request. It's the bead request form, and I also have it pinned at the top of our Facebook group page. So if you need to find that form, what that form does is you fill it out, you let me know what you want, try to be as specific as possible, and it's just going to come straight to my email so that I can then print out your request. So when I go to the store, I have a list of requests. I know who they're for, what they wanted, what they said. I don't have to write it down or anything. And then I go to the store every Thursday. So if you, we then take those requests, I pick them up Thursday, and then I would just add them into custom orders on Monday if you had a custom order from the live sale, or if you don't make a live sale order, that's fine. That's just the day I do invoicing. So then I would create a custom order for you. It would go up onto the website, www.thunderhorsedescendant.biz, under the custom orders tab in the bead store, and then you would just add it to your cart like any other item you order from any website. Shannon will ship it. So that's kind of the goings-ons with that. So we need this hole punch. We need our rivets. I'm only going to need 2. I'm going to need a hammer. Any hammer will work. And then this guy right here, this is a bench block. And this guy is important because it's kind of like this, I don't know how to explain it. It's a dapping block, but it's like it's not hard. It's not a metal one. It's like kind of cushy. You can get this at Michael's. That's where I got mine. It's from Bead Landing. I should have took the sticker off, but I didn't years ago when I got it. So the reason this is important is if you are using these crystal, only the crystal, okay? If you're using the crystal snap rivets, You got to put those face down into this squishy mat. So when you hit it with a hammer, it doesn't break the crystal. Okay? That's the importance of this block. If you're using some of the other kind of rivets that are just, you know, regular kind, you can go ahead and just use a regular bench block. But if you're using the crystal ones, you got to use this. Otherwise you'll break them. All right. This is going to not take very long at all, so let's get on into it. So let's start with our rings here. So I want to connect the leather to the larger rings. And I want to connect the larger rings to the smaller rings here. And the reason I have two is because if I just connected these on, I mean I could, I guess. Just connect these on here. Just these to here. I could totally do that. I think, oh, I'm sorry, that's not even what I'm trying to do. That's exactly what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do that. These were for the top, as I remember. Okay, now that I remember. But yeah, you could add extras here. It doesn't matter how many ever you wanted to add. We got a whole bunch of them in the bag, so you could do that. That's not what I'm going to do. Those are for the top, because this is going to be another slider necklace. I made a slider necklace, I think it was Tuesday, on Morning Coffee with my whale tail and my 2,000-year-old bead, so I'm on a slider mission, I guess. Before we connect this on, I'm going to first work on this, because we have to do hammering close near here. I don't want to wreck my crystal or anything, so we're just gonna go this way first. And literally all we're going to do is we're going to take the end of our leather. We're going to bring that through here, and we are going to create ourselves a little loop. Just like this. This is what it looks like on the back. Okay? Now it's up to you how much space you want to leave here, if you want this really tight or not. And here's the other thing. If you want to make this project and you don't want to do riveting, just wire wrap it. Just wire wrap this and have yourself a lovely time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line this up where I want it. And once I have it, I'm going to put it together. Now you do want to leave enough room in the middle of the leather because you don't want to compromise it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to kind of eyeball it because I'm like that. You can put a notch with your pen or whatever you want to do. I am going to just eyeball it like so. All I did was go through both pieces. Now both pieces probably won't punch. So you're going to want to come in here, double punch both of those little pieces. Okay. And then if you want to, you can take your little guy here and just kind of shape them up a little bit. Now you don't want to make them too big because you put this in here, so stretch them out. You don't want to do that because you don't want your rivet to be too big to fit in there. It's got to be able to fit in there. So if it's too big, if you've made the hole too big, that's going to be a problem. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this example to the other side. And I'm going to go on this end. And all I'm going to do here is I'm just going to kind of stretch it like it normally would be. I'm going to poke, poke. I've made two little dots on the other side. And I'm just going to go in here. Make sure it's in the middle of the leather, regardless of where your little hole is. And I'm going to do the same on this side. Easy peasy. So, when you clean these holes out, you might get a little bit of a tag. Now the reason for that is because this is meant for metal, whereas the leather punch will take that tag out for you. But since this is a metal punch, and we're using all the wrong tools for our stuff, you're going to get a tag. So you got to take that off of there. And I'll do the other side here. Sometimes it'll sneak back in there. And we're just making sure we got these things cleaned out, so that when we rivet them, those aren't sticking out the side and then it looks messy. Again, if you don't want to rivet, you don't have to. Another thing you could do is, if you wanted to feel secure about it but you didn't want to rivet, you could go ahead and put these in there. You could put a little leather glue, okay, leather glue, and you could glue this and then wire wrap it, or put a crimp over it, or put a bead over it, or whatever, sew it together, whatever you want to do. Alright, so now this is the easy part. We're going to get our rivets. I lost one already. Where'd it go? Fell off the mat somewhere. I got one. This is how it goes for me. Where'd you go? It disappeared. Oh, here it is. It was magnetized to my plier. Okay, there we go. So we are going to get our rivets. So now I'm looking to see if these have like a front and a back. It doesn't really seem like they do. But you're obviously going to want to put your sparkly part in the front, right, of your leather. So we're going to work on the top hole. I'm going to make mine a little bigger, because it needs to be a little bigger. And then I'm going to slide that rivet in there. Dun, dun. Did I make it big enough? You want it to be tight. But you don't, you know, you want it to be snug in there. It may take a little maneuvering. Alright, there we go. So now that's on there. So now what we do is we make the other side just as large. In essence, you're just kind of stretching that out. You're going to put your loop on there, and then you're going to put this on the other side. Okay, so now we got this part coming out. This is the back. You're going to take your female part and you're going to snap it on. You're going to push till you hear the snap. Okay, so there's your snap. So for right now, it's just tentative. It's not on there. It's not riveted. It's just tentatively on there. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like. Like how it looks. So I am going to move some of these other things off the mat. And this is why I have this. So it might bounce the camera, but this is a shock absorber. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the crystal into this block, and then all I'm going to do is hammer it. 1, 2, donezo. See how it is now flat? Okay, it's bit in. It is flat. So when you do that, you just want to make sure that it's flattened up, and you'll be able to tell because they're kind of domed, okay? So there you go. There's the first one. Now we gotta do the other side. I could probably do the other side right here, so I don't have to move everything back in the camera space. Okay. So I'm going to start on the top hole right here. I'm going to bring it all the way down this vintage guy. And sometimes getting this first one is a little tricky because you kind of got to stretch it. So now remembering that you want to keep the sparkly side out. So when you put this on, you know this will be in the back. So we're going to do the same one here. So we put this on, and then, come on camera. There we go. So then we push that through. Okay, sparkly side on the long side, and the back is the little shorty side. Okay, so then we're going to put on our back snap. I hear the click. There we go. So there she is. And I kind of just pull it a little bit and make sure that it's laying right. So that's what it's going to look like. So here it is before it's flat. You can see it's domed. Put the crystal into the mat. Get your hammer. One, two, three. There it is, flat. There. That's it. That's all she wrote. It's easy. Here's your breezy. So now we're going to bring this back in. And we're going to get our two pieces here. And all we're going to do is connect this. Okay, oh, so now I gotta see, is this the front that I want to show? I believe it is. So I'm just going to connect that on here. And close that up. We're going to move on to the other side, do the same thing. So I'm just making sure the front of the crystal and the front of the sparklies are out. That's how I want them to be. Okay, so when you're wearing this, it's going to be like so. This is how it's going to hang, right? So now I'm going to go up here to the top. I'm just pulling it, marrying it up basically till I get to the very top. I'm going to cut right here. Oh, do I have a scissor? There we go. I'm just going to cut this. Now, at this point, it is up to you about how long you want your necklace to be. Okay, so it is going to be adjustable, so you can make it as long as you want. So I think I'm going to get my tape measure out. I mean, this is quite excessive. There's quite a lot there. Let me see. Let me zoom you out. Let's see what I'm doing here. So I think, you know, I mean, anything over 30 inches is probably too much. So I'm just going to come down here to the bottom and let's see what we're looking at. So 20 is going to be 40 inches, but we are also going to have to tie a knot. So 15 would be 30 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to measure to 22. I believe is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to take both of them and I'm just going to pull it out and I'm going to measure up to 22. So technically that's 44 inches, but we're going to have to tie a knot in the end of this, and that always eats up some of our materials. So I'm going to go ahead and just cut this off. So now I can use these other two bits for something else, you know, a bracelet, another something or other, you know, an extender chain, like whatever. So there we go. All right, now onto the slider bead portion. Now you could use a sparkly, you know, cool bead if you want to. Sorry, I was having a sip of coffee. You can use a cool bead if you want to, if you have one. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to use these two stacked up together, these little links that came with the box, simply because they came with the box. You do what you want. So I'm just going to make sure these are both facing forward. And I'm going to put them with the fronts of the leather. You can see this is like got the fuzzies on it. That's the back. And this part is the front, the smooth side. I'm going to put the two fronts facing out. And then I'm going to go ahead and attempt to get them onto this little guy here. Just to see if it's gonna work. Oh yeah, it's gonna work. As far as the size of this ring. So I'm gonna put the other one on. And then these two are gonna act as the stopper. So I'm gonna pull that down. And then I'm just going to tie a knot right here. Easy peasy. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to trim these. Now, another option you might want to think about is you could put some little charms here on the back. Not using my leather scissor, because why would I do that? You could put little charms on the back here. Just put a hole and then put jump ring in there and put some charms. Alright. And so now this is adjustable. You can pull this down, push it up, you know, whatever. It's going to be an adjustable situation, and it's just a pull over your head, like so. And that's what we got. So there she is, all done. That's project 2. Here is the design. I think it turned out exactly as I thought it would for this design. I very much like it. I think that this one is really cool. I like that it's adjustable, and for summer, you know, these long cool, you know, these cool crystals. I think that's going to be really a good seller at a craft show, or you know, even on the website or something like that, because first of all, it's leather. Leather is summertime, right? People are reminded of leather in the summertime, and then to add the crystal, it's going to be a good time. So that is it for project 2. I hope you guys enjoyed this project. If you have questions, comments, or concerns, please put them in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my videos. It is free and it is very helpful. I hope you have a lovely day, and I'll talk to you in the next one.